Hi, I'm Geoffrey Semaganda. This video, it's really answering a question that I get asked quite often, and it's usually about why should one teach what they know? Why should people share what they know with the world? Besides making money, what is the most important reasons why you want to teach others what you know? You see, in Britain, every year there's an appeal, it's the BBC appeal, and it's comic relief. So every year, people here in Britain raise millions to help those who are in need. And I don't know whether it's me, but every time I turn on the TV during these appeals, they seem to be focusing on Uganda, East Africa, so to speak, Uganda, Southern Sudan, Congo, Kenya, Somalia, and but more or less Uganda. I think Uganda's been, we've received a lot of support and help from the generous of the British people. And this program I just watched, I just really, I just saw it on television because, I'm watching the show, and I just caught the last bit of it. And I'm watching following this group of kids from Southern Sudan who basically moving from one part of the country to the other and trying to survive, trying to figure out how to go back to school. And it just reminds me how I was when I was, 9, 10, 11 years old, because I'm from Luelo Triangle, where that place was devastated by war, moving from one part of the country to the other, trying to survive. And when I watch those incredible young kids, their maturity, their determination to fight and not only help themselves but help others and get the education that they believe is the answer to their country's future. They believe that the future of their country, and if they don't acquire the education, then there's no future to their country. And I'm watching these kids and I'm blown away, because I guess we all, when we were kids, we want to change the world. And I don't know what happens when we get older. I think something happens. And I'm hoping if you're a child and you have some kind of, there's a child in you that's has the ambition to make a difference in the world, you gotta keep that belief. You gotta see that so many things we take for granted, and so many people around the world don't have access to that. Now the question has always been, and what can I do to make a difference to the world? But prior to that, also there was a program on the news that kept coming into the room back and forth, and they were showing the people in Ukraine who basically also devastated by war. They also have their own issues. And then you watch other kids in Africa or in Asia or in Eastern Europe or here in the UK, homeless people go out with no food, or kids in Syria. And there's so much goes on, and you can't help yourself but to say that why and what can I do? And there's no one answer, but there's one thing that I do believe that each and every one of us can do. We can teach what we know. You see, when in those clips, one of the kids kept saying that if you can educate ourselves and can educate others, there's hope. There's hope for us, not just for us, for the future of our country. And one kid wants to be a doctor because she believes she'll be, a messenger, so to speak, or she'll be the instrument of change to bring happiness and support to those who best needs it the most. And I hear one of those clips. The school fees, I think, if I'm not mistaken, for her to go to school for a year, I think it was a boarding school, I could be wrong here, you misunderstood something, it was £400 for a 1 year education in high school for a full year in Kenya. And that sounds like a lot of money, and a lot of money for people can't afford that. One of the things when I go home, I go to schools, universities, I go to charities, I go to just reminding myself and trying to speak to as many people as possible. And one of the reasons that you feel heartbroken because you don't know what to do, you can't help everybody. But one thing I know you can do, you can share what you know with those people who have no hope. Because when you do what you do, it makes somebody who knows you wonder that how come you can do that? How come you able to know that, or you been able to put effort and time and hard work, and you became good at what you do. And when you do what you do, you share it. And the reason why you share because you're going to be better. When you have to share something, you have to be good at it. You have to learn more because you're going to teach someone else. So the question is, what it is can you teach someone? What it is do you know that you can teach someone? Because that could help someone. We all can learn something. We all have the ability to learn something. And we can share what we know with others. Those kids who basically the future of our nation, the future of our world, they're looking to us grown-ups to share with them what we know or what we've learned of the experience you've heard, of the story that you've had before. So you have to teach your story. You got to share what you know with the world, and it doesn't matter, because for selfish reasons, teach because you grow. But if you really want to make the world a better place, you better be prepared to learn something by intention. If you don't know anything, then learn something. And if you know something, teaching to those who needs to know it, then you are responsible. We're all responsible. Nobody has all the money, but we can all learn something and share what we know. And if you can change one person's life, that person will change someone's life. We all look up to others and ask ourselves a very simple question: how come this guy can do that? I watch those kids and I'm asking myself, what am I doing? And I'm sure you're going to be watching the same programs. You see them everywhere. It doesn't matter where you base, where you live. And you see things that inspires you and it reminds you to say, what, I've got to do something. One of the things I believe this concept of teaching is that anybody can do it. There's no excuse. Anybody can teach. Anybody can learn. But to teach, you have to be a good student. And when you become a good student, by intention, knowing you're going to teach others, it means you become better. And then other people watch you. Your family watches you, your friends, everybody around you. The world gets better. You become better. And the marketplace only responds to those who are good at something. And we can teach that to our kids. Every year, I watch Comic Relief in Britain. It just reminds me, because it's always at home, and my goal to inspire, to tell as many people as possible that you can teach something, and it doesn't matter whether you live in India or in Uganda or in the UK or in the United States or in Syria, wherever, war or no war, we can all basically take a little bit of responsibility. If you're watching this, it's not because I have any answer, I'm just watch the program and I just got a bit, cooked up in my head, and I'm saying to you, what it is can you teach? What it is can you teach? You take care. If you have something, well, share. If you have some money, donate to Comic Relief because they seem to be doing something. You know, when I was growing up, I didn't see Red Cross when the war was going on in my country, but wherever these guys are, hey, who knows? You know, that 10, 20 bucks, you're going to spend it anyway. So you might as well. But the biggest investment you can make to someone's life is when you become better, wiser, stronger, more competent. Everyone around you will grow because you are growing. But if you don't grow, you're taking everyone down with you because you are not an example. You are a warning to others not to do what you do. In order for us to keep ourselves on track, we need to become that example. People say, do what that guy is doing, do what that girl is doing. And by intention, we can all do that. I hope that helps. I'm sorry if I sometimes get a little bit of emotion about this, but this is too close to home just to ignore. Until next time, you take care. God bless and bye for now.